That's B content. That doesn't make it.
That doesn't make it to the show.
No.
Okay.
Get that out.
Yeah, right. It'll probably be like the opening. It'll be like the opening credits.
From the masterminds that brought you the Pumper Jones Zombicide Black Plague painting series comes another painting series. Comes the follow-up critically acclaimed Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition painting series with your host Josh and guest host painting guru Travis. We'll take you step by step through the process and help you paint a game.
Can you hear me?
We're guessing. As you all may know, this game has, well, let's just see this mess.
Oh, be careful with them.
So yeah, these models they remind me of army men.
They're like a little bit more flexible than army men.
You think so?
Yeah, I think like the Cthulhu Wars is a very similar plastic to this, in all honesty.
I don't actually hate it because I feel like this spindly little shovel, like it's not going to break, it's not going to snap off because it's bendable. So I don't necessarily see it as a terrible
I think it can take some abuse as far as like dropping or tossing it around or anything. I think it can withstand abuse.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good example.
These bases that they come for, they serve a function because they are supposed to be functional with multiple games.
What is that?
The chit on here?
Star Spawn?
Star Spawn.
Let's get you a Star Spawn. Here's a Star Spawn from Eldritch Horror, my favorite game. And I don't recommend Eldritch Horror. You can slot that.
I'm having a hard time here. Wham. So it interchanges throughout the different Fantasy Flight games, but we were talking that we don't know how great that is because
all your information's on the bottom. So your Star Spawn's here. You gotta flip it. You gotta flip it over. What happens? It falls out. Some of the numbers can be a little tough to see. Like you gotta be at just the right angle to see that 8. So that's a thing. The attempt to make this system interchangeable, although laudable, was terribly executed.
Show them the size of the actual game piece that the models move around on.
Oh, they have to move around on?
Show them the space concerns of these bases.
It's not atypical that you'll have 2 or even 3 investigators. I guess you could have 4, but in the same space. So you as soon as you have a couple models, that's like the whole space. But it was annoying because it didn't have to be that way. We could have all been there comfortably and they could have killed us and we could have lost the game without thinking about the logistics of how we were losing.
Immersion being ruined.
Yeah.
We are going to get
just
another company's base to put the models on to save space.
Well, no, I mean, I really feel committed to Fantasy Flight. I think we should get Fantasy Flight bases.
I can take care of bases.
You could be our base.
I could be the base expert.
I don't really have much base experience. I'm not.
I do different things with base. I don't know. We'll figure it out and we'll come to something with bases. We'll make both the heroes and the monsters on a same type of base. Get an idea for which one is best. Fantasy Flight, apparently. I'm just gonna start organizing them a little bit here.
Are you talking about now?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Oh, okay.
Got my heroes. Get the cultists back over here. Shovelmen. What are the shovelmen? Are they just angry? They're a riot.
They're a riot.
Hey, riot.
There you go.
Quiet riot. Whoa. That guy's yelling. Dude with the stick. Part of the reason of organizing is to see which models are the same. And then, like, when you're looking at those models, you know, well, like, this is obviously their skin. So they're probably going to be the same colors.
Well,
where these two guys are actually the same model, but because they're, like, wearing clothes, you might want to differentiate. Like, one of them could be wearing a red or blue sweater. The other one could be wearing an orange or purple sweater or something, you know, maybe green, who knows? That's an awesome mustache. I could never grow that.
Well, I think with the cultists, it's like, do you consider the robes to be like a uniform, or
Well,
are they just?
I don't know what cult you're a part of.
I gotta put my neck beard on a little bit for this section, talking a bit about the lore.
It's coming in.
I can talk a little bit about the lore. I got a little bit coming in. Yeah. I would suggest playing the game a few times before you really start getting into painting, because there's all these descriptions of the monsters in the game when you encounter them. These cultists, they have worms and snakes crawling through the crannies where their eyes should be.
Really?
So that might affect how maybe you do a couple of the cultists or the whole group.
Look into the background to what you're painting, and that can help you decide, like, what are you going for with a particular model. I'm gonna guess that there's artwork in this book.
There's a bit of artwork. I think most of the artwork, though, is really on the chits themselves.
Really?
It's not really that big, yeah.
Oh, this is...
It does leave a good bit to the imagination still.
Yeah. Here's one of the deep ones, and you look at that, and you can see his skin's like this pale, nasty color, but his eyes, they almost look like jewels, like a red jewel.
Yeah.
What do they got as the cultists? Let's see what they look like. Looks like a brown robe.
Just kind of, their face is kind of
A sweet Hulk Hogan stash.
indiscriminate.
On these models, you can start seeing they got like a trim along the edges of the robe. You know, you can make that a different color. You could put magical writing or like little things in there just to set them apart, make them pop some.
This style is very low saturation, so when you do have a color like a glowing eye, that's a big deal because there's very little color in the skin tones in the cloth.
It's a dark and dreary piece of work. It's concerning the unknown, and like...
And that's kind of what inspired me to maybe bring out the poly shades. People that they actually really poo-poo this game as far as the models. They're like they're pretty bad.
I don't know, there's a lot of detail in there. They did just curl the fingers over, so I guess a little bit more could have been done if they like splayed it out, but all in all, I think with the right paint, you can do a lot with here, you know? I grew up on Games Workshop, Citadel colors, and all of their paints is like for particular, this is what this paint is used for, which makes it easier, I think, for new people, because it's going to be like, this is what this paint is used for. You do this, you do this, you do this. We've both kind of agreed upon to use the GW line so that the viewers can have that easier go-to. And Vallejo is a great paint, but the people who are buying Vallejo probably aren't watching these videos because they already know enough about painting that they don't necessarily need it. You know, if you get in here and you start learning some of the different things, and then you start doing some research, or even we might give in information, you can see on your own or through the video how Vallejo might be something that you'd move on to.
It seems to be a well-accepted, well-loved game from a gameplay standpoint, but a lot of people complain about the miniatures, and apparently they're not that bad. So y'all can paint them and be happy with them, enjoy them, love them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Cool. So very neat series ahead. Lots of fun facts. Lots of quick tips.
Cool.
And long tips.
How dare you, you disgusting person!